Okay, hello everyone. Time for another Chess960 game. This time with lower rated opponent. Let's see, what should I do? I kind of want to castle here, but well, I'm gonna play g6. Copy with what my opponent does for a while, except that move. Don't want to play that at all. So what to do instead? I guess f5 and open the light squared bishop's path all the way to a2. And now, with the experience I have from my previous games, I don't want to play d5. I guess I'm gonna go for maybe knight to f6, d6, and well, knight to c6. Or actually, perhaps I should go knight to f6, d6, knight to d7, and somehow get my queen out of a8 and castle queenside. The possibility to castle kingside is of course still there. It's probably a viable option. Should I go for knight to f6? Or maybe I should actually play d6, go knight d7 and play for either c5 and or e5, depending what my opponent does, but I guess d4 is an interesting alternative. Well, d5 would have maybe made sense, since I need to get this queen out of a8 somehow, and maybe it wants to go from b7, for example, which means that I probably should play knight c6 first and see if my opponent takes there. But then I thought about going to d7 with the b knight, so I'm not sure. Maybe I actually knight to f6, bishop here, and then play, let's say, b6 and all that stuff. But okay, let's wait what the opponent does. Yeah, I mean, knight f6 does seem like the right way to go, and bishop to d5 in order to enable b6 and developing the queen. I'm surprised that my opponent took this challenge, but I guess good practice for him. Not sure about the usefulness for me, but of course every game, if I learn something, I'm happy. So there might be things to learn from this game too. And let's wait for a while and then I lose. Haha. Well, certainly possible, but unlikely, I guess. Wow. Bishop d4 after a long think. Question is, should I take it? Double the pawns. Probably not. It just opens up the C file for my opponent's rook, so interesting idea. Should I play e5 instead? e5, pawn takes. Bishop here is a bit annoying. So, maybe I will actually double the pawns and continue with knight f6. But it does also leave the option of knight c3 after that, so maybe I don't want to play that. I'm actually gonna go e5 here. This does open the other rook, and sorry about that. Again, the cursor went too far. Sorry about that. And yeah. Now, of course, I have the option of playing maybe e4, but the idea of course, is to block this long diagonal and maybe get my queen into play, but maybe instead I'm gonna develop a piece. This time the... No, well... Actually, I don't want to develop this knight just yet. I want to develop this knight in order to protect c5, so after the pawns are exchanged, perhaps, then the bishop can't go here and threaten my rook, so... And of course, well, here I might actually castle long, even though the both bishops are aiming at the queen side, so let's see. I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna play knight ef6, play bishop to d5, and then maybe b6. And of course, after pawn takes, I have the option of taking with the knight, which I probably want to do, since it is a quite good square for my knight, I think. Still maybe a bit unsure if I should castle kingside or queenside. Of course, the aggression on the queen side would suggest that I want to castle here, but we shall see what I come up with. Should I go knight to d5 or bishop d5? Maybe I bishop d5, obviously b6, and go from there. Knight g4 is an idea, I guess, too. Maybe forcing bishop to g1, because otherwise I take the bishop and knight g4, if h3 for example, knight takes here, pawn takes here. Opponent has doubled pawns, but maybe it's not that big of a deal. Well, actually it's probably a quite weak pawn on e3. Okay, my opponent does take his time, or her time, but which is probably a good thing, and of course there's a 5-second increment, so it's not that bad to use the time, especially when playing against a stronger opponent. Bishop to d5, I think, is the way to go. I assume bishop takes, knight takes, and then moving the bishop somewhere. Really? Well, okay then. Didn't expect that. But now bishop takes h1, rook takes, and b6. Activating my queen with a tempo. Probably isn't that amazing, but it is something. And rook to h2, eh? Huh. Well, now I have the option of playing knight to e4, threatening e takes f4, and the pawn on g3, but I assume d3 is the way that my opponent goes, but I guess even there e takes f4 is good, I'm assuming. So I will do this. I think I should be just much better here. I don't see all that many good moves for my opponent. d3 might be the best chance. Well, actually no, just knight takes g3 there. So I'm not actually convinced. And if bishop here, I just take the bishop, rook takes, and he takes f4, threatening the queen and winning a pawn there. At least. It is a difficult position for white, certainly. And no good answers to the move I played, I guess. White's problem is the fact that the pieces have not been developed all that well. I mean, there wouldn't be a problem if the knight would have been on c3, for example, already developed. But since it isn't, this gave me enough time to do all of this. Okay, my opponent doesn't even move anymore. Wow, and I didn't actually get any points from that. Not that I'm all that surprised. The rating difference was so great, and my opponent actually lost 1 point. So not that bad for him either. Okay, let's look at the analysis now. Alright, of course the analysis didn't take all that much time since the game lasted only like 10 moves. So I didn't actually like this. I mean, probably better idea is to play c4 then knight c3 and get the queen developed somehow, and of course f4, so that both the bishops are activated. Is a good call, but this was a bit... doesn't serve white's development all that well. The best square that the knight can go to is a3 and maybe to c2 or something, but doesn't seem all that good. And even if after d4, let's say, knight goes here, it's not that amazing. So just a bad option. And I of course always go for the fast development and try not to hinder my other pieces while I go about things. And in this game I now remembered the ideas that I have previously had when the bishops are on H and G files. That I won't be playing my d pawn to d5 since it just blocks my bishop. So I really like the way that I played the pawns here, and will continue to do so in the future as well. And had the bishops been here, then b6 c5 and avoid e5, maybe play e6, so that the bishops are as unobstructed as possible. Maybe that's a word. So okay, f4, d6 and d4. Well, bishop to d4 was certainly interesting. I'm wondering if taking there would have been a bad idea. It probably was, so e5, and I expected my opponent to take take the pawn. I think it would have been better than bishop e3, but I guess according to the analysis it didn't change the val, so it probably was an okay move. Knight d7, nothing bad about that, but then b4, again, not developing the pieces. Which is a bit too slow. The b4 doesn't have an idea, really. Because it doesn't help the development of white's pieces, and even if it goes to b6, let's say, it doesn't do all that much, so in the way of attacking, maybe if the bone storm would be going and I would castle queenside, then this sort of thing move would be a good one, but it's premature. Just develop the pieces and worry about the attack later, I guess, is what I would do. And again, bit too slow, I guess. My opponent wanted to prevent knight g4, but instead I think knight to f3, for example, much better. Getting the piece into play. And avoiding moving the pawns, which just basically wastes time at this time. I mean, there was no point in playing this. Knight f3 is good enough. Defends this pawn, and if I play knight to g4, then bishop just goes back. I mean, it's probably even better here, since it doesn't obstruct the e-pawn or white's other pieces there. Well, it does in some ways prevent the rook from protecting the bishop on h1, but again, I'm not sure if that's all that problematic, and for some reason I did that again. Oh well. Yeah, this whole thing, c4, rather bad idea. Wow, didn't actually see that this was a possibility, but okay, not that problematic. I mean, this is certainly comfortable for me to play, had this game going like this, so no problems, but I wonder why b6 was bad. Well, best move here, e takes. I wouldn't be so sure. Okay, okay. Now I see the point of it, so. Yeah, of course, this was much better than the line I went for, but my line was kinda good too, sort of. And knight f3 best. Wow. So in this line I would have just won the exchange, when in the other line I would have won the whole rook, I guess. Oh well. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, bye bye.